Greetings, my name is Andrei Sitari. I'm a Coblone École de l'Image alumnus, and for the past 5 years, I work as a character designer and visual development artist for studios like Netflix, Sun Creature, Golden Wolf, and others. I would like to invite you to join the visual development class under the short film creation program. Together, we will dive into the nuances and challenges of visual development and production of a short film. Not only you will test your skills, but also you will get real-life experience working in a team, meeting deadlines, and contributing to a common goal, which is the creation of an animated film. I'll be your mentor and supervisor, and I will guide you through the process. I will advise and counsel you to the best of my abilities, yet it is precisely you who will be the brain and the heart of this creative process. So join us today and let's create something beautiful together.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Animation Club School is back online. I'm so happy to see some familiar faces in the chat. Welcome, Loopy Arts. Very mindful on time as usual. Thank you for waiting for us for a couple of minutes. We finally set everything up. So hopefully everything is working smoothly for you. For those who are here for the first time or that haven't seen us in a long while, or me personally, my name is Kata. I am your favorite and only host of Animation Club School's YouTube channel, workshops specifically. And today we'll actually have a very interesting session. Hey, I see Andrew Sharp saying hello, Loopy Art saying hello again, Pom Pom Perrine, welcome, welcome Nishad. I'm very happy to see everyone here. And today we're going to have an actually very interesting session. It's going to be a feedback workshop on the designs of your original characters. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. That's very nice of you. And we're going to have a very interesting and amazing mentor, Andrei Sitari. And always like doing, we not only have amazing courses that allow you to update your portfolio, start your animation journey, or create an animated movie together. We also like to share information with everyone who wants to learn, and that's like one of the reasons why we decide to host workshops like these on YouTube, so you can watch and learn as well, and maybe if you like eventually what you're seeing, because this will be almost like a typical visual development session, just a little bit more free form. Then you should definitely check out our courses. They're in the description, and you'll be able to along with your lifelong journey. I see some questions. Can I submit a chair character now? Now is a little bit too late. We already extended the deadline a little bit, but I think it's not our first session on character designs and improving them. So it's definitely not gonna be the last one, and you'll be able to get more chances. Plus, I think it's a very good idea to join our Discord channel because usually the first news are going to come through Discord channel, and we have a very supportive community that's open not only for the students but for everyone in general who wants to learn. We have general discussion places where you can send your artwork and ask for feedback, or you can actually have practice because we have different things we do during the week that allows us to practice and animate more. So, without further ado, I actually wanted to introduce our mentor today in visual development course. His name is Andrei Sitari. He works as a character designer and our as our visual development mentor on the short film creation course, and who had the amazing experience of working for clients like Netflix, Passion Pictures, Nexus, and much, much more. Andre, would you like to tell about yourself to new and old watchers of ours? They'd probably be delighted to meet you.
Thank you for this beautiful introduction. Um, what can I say? Yeah, I'm a professional character designer. I also do visual development mostly. Currently, I work as an art director. I mean, it's not my first art direction job, but this is like a bigger size type of job. Very exciting. I'm also the mentor in the visual development compartment of the short film creation course, which is like we are a bigger team. We work all together to create a short film, which is a
Mhm.
very like it emulates a professional environment. And I'm basically more as a like a guide rather than a teacher. I'll try to like guide you through the whole production so we can have beautiful results. And today,
That
yeah, today we'll have some feedback session on the characters you've submitted, guys.
mhm. Perfect. And I want to focus a little bit more on the short film course and how the projects are being done. Every project is very, very different from the last. You probably saw it in the initial demo reel we had, but also every 4 months, there's a different thing going on. And sometimes there's like a different thing that's going popular. And the topic can change very drastically. And what's the most interesting part? That usually the pitching is fully dependent on the students who come and pitch their work. That happened when we were doing our film like a couple of years ago. And this time, I think, let me see, the topic was Oh, yes, it's gonna be very interesting for those who like to sit on TikTok. You've probably seen already. There's this amazing new musical. I'm not sure how new it is, but it's called Epic, and it's basically a free adaptation of Homer's Odyssey. And it was made. It's like an online musical made by this very, very talented guy, George Rivera Herons, or aka Jay, and it's basically a story of Odysseus coming back home after the Trojan War and all of the events that happened in it because I don't remember everything that happened there. But I've heard the music and it's absolutely breathtaking. So it's going to be basically several teams. There's going to be an animation team, a visual development team, a special effects team, and even a team that's going to be responsible for compositing. And you're not, I would say, not even emulating. You will be on a full, short film creation project from start to finish. You'll be able to see how it unfolds and you'll be able to learn much more interesting things. And plus, with a topic that interesting, I think you'll probably have, some lifelong influences following you throughout your animation. So, if it's something that you find interesting, whether it's Greek mythology or animation or everything in between, you should go check our courses in the short film development and see if it, resonates with you. So you can see you in our classes and maybe, start your lifelong journey. So I don't think I have anything to add. I want to say thank you to the chat for being so nice. I see a lot of hellos to Andre as well. The link is to the Discord and for the October courses are in the chat already being sent and also in the description. So you'll be able to find it whenever you look off our beautiful faces and artworks that have been sent by our viewers. So, again, I want to give it up for them. And before we actually jump into the best part, of the feedback, I still have a couple of things I wanted to remind for everyone. First of all, there is a chat, and a lot of people have been really nice using it. And I also want to remind you that you not only can send your compliments and, cute messages in general, you can also ask questions. The only thing I'll have to ask you for the questions to be on topic, they have to be mindful, respectful, demure, you might say. And also, you have to put the word question in all caps before you type the question out. I have a lot of things open. Thankfully, I still have one monitor to follow after everything, but still, it's pretty compact. So if you use an extra word to bring, attention to your question for me, it's going to be, helping me and helping you as well to get it voiced out. I will collect the questions on the way. And if I don't voice your question out loud right there in the very moment, I'm probably looking for a better time to voice it so we can actually have enough attention to your question so we can fully answer it. So sometimes don't fret. I'm using them to, ask it at a better time. But other than that, feel free to give a bunch of compliments. I see already one compliment to Andre on his work being so amazing. So thank you. And otherwise, just have fun and hopefully you learn as much as I do because I actively listen to all of this because I have to lead it. But hopefully you're doing the same thing as well. I don't think I have anything to add as well. As a reminder, again, if you want to start your visual development journey or you want to be a part of our new October course short film project, the links are always in the description so you can check them out and join us. There's about like less than half a month before we actually start developing it, so you still have time to think about it and join it. So yeah, that's it. I can finally give up the mic to you, and we can see the amazing designs that we have got in our submission box.
Yeah, if we can already share the screen so we can start going over the artwork, that'd be great. I don't know, do we see the screen? Because I know I'm a little bit behind what's happening real life.
We
So
do. We do have a little delay, but it's
we have
on.
a little delay. Yeah. Okay. If we see the screen, so we got some really cool submissions. What we're going to do is I'm going to go over everything you submitted. I think we have enough time in a span of an hour.
Mhm.
And I'm just like randomly going to give you tips, ideas on how to improve your characters, and just we'll talk about general principles of character design, which some may apply in visual development and even in other arts. So yeah, I mean it's always useful.
Perfect.
Yeah. So here we have a really cool character with a silhouette. Then we have a really nice character sheet with expressions and some full body poses. Here we have a another really cool character in a very dynamic poses. Here we have like a same, I suppose, same character evolving over time. Really cool character sheet. The only creature we had for today. Also, something that resembles a turnaround. Really cool character as well. Really cool costume. So yeah, many cool things to go over. So if you have any questions at any point, you just don't hesitate to type in the chat. I will answer straight away. It's I like it to be interactive, like during the course. Well, since our course is more like focused on the like short film creation, it's a tiny bit different. But I also have courses on like purely character design, and there I really like for it to be interactive. So sometimes I will ask my students questions to see if they listen or not. Like high school teachers. And yeah, let's get going. So one of the big important principles in character design, but in art as well, is Does my Photoshop draw? Yes. Let me put a
Does.
more beautiful color. Is silhouette, which exactly what happens here. You know, basically your character design, prop design, even concept art has to have a strong, clear silhouette. Imagine you're watching a movie animation that's 24 frames per second. So there's a lot of information going on for the human eye to digest, and the brain as well. All this information we have to be as clear as possible. This is where the silhouette comes in. Um, when you're working on a character design, there'll be many details. You know, you'll have shadows. Let me put another color. You'll have shadows. You'll have anatomy details. You'll have hair textures, etc., etc. That's a lot to go through. But even like when you're scrolling on Instagram or like looking through your favorite artist's artwork, you will only look at it for what, maybe 10-15 seconds, oh maybe 1 minute. It's really fast. So the first silhouette, I forgot one letter. The first thing that's going to impact us, it's going to be the silhouette. So now everybody that submitted the work, ask yourselves, is my silhouette clear? First thing first, is my silhouette clear? This is an answer we'll have to, is a question we'll have to answer. um, let's continue. Without logical segue, I'll pass to another idea, which is linked to the silhouette, is proportions. What I like about this character, specifically, what I see underneath the dress is the anatomy of the character. I really like the way you divided the length of the character in a relatively small torso and long legs. We call it the rule of thirds. It's basically how you're gonna uh, divide your character, like how big the segments will be. It's been a while,
Mhm.
guys. I'm a little bit sick, so bear with me. My English and my
No, I think you're
brain
doing
is a little bit
amazing.
slow, a little bit slow. So let's imagine this is the length of my character. So you can always think, okay, I'm gonna do half and half. This half is my torso. This half is this half are my legs. This is like the first thing we would think about, you know. But it makes a quite a boring character, you know. So what I like in this design is the fact that you made the legs long and the torso short. Basically, the way you divided this length is two thirds. Two thirds. I'm sorry, my Photoshop is lagging a little bit. Two thirds the legs, one third the torso. Beautiful. We'll see the same idea applied in other designs. Let's check here. Okay, I will just take the length of the torso and the legs. And yeah, here we have more or less the same idea. It's a little bit less stylized, less exaggerated, but it still works. Even though, if you'd ask me, oh, how can I improve it? I think I would tell you, oh, I think you can push it a little bit more. You know, I think you can just slightly push this cool. not by a lot, not by a lot, just a little bit. The length of the pants, I don't know how they're called, but they're really cool looking pants. And then we'll have a shape that's a little bit more striking. Again, it's like a very tiny change, but it's a change that makes a difference usually, you know? It's like, because this design in itself is almost perfect, you know? There are small details, anatomy, like, we'll talk about them, but it's like just small details that we can improve. We get the character design to like a professional level, you know? So we keep talking. So we talked about silhouette. We'll get back to that. We're talking about proportions, super important. The way you're gonna divide the character in different proportions, and then there are shapes. Because well, we have the basic shapes. We have square, triangle, circle. One thing we can create a vast array of designs with only these three shapes, having like nothing else in the equation, only these three shapes. We already can have like really cool ideas, you know. But if you put into the equation the idea of proportions, we already make it more complex. All of a sudden, the same shapes, you just take them, you pull them, you push them, like working with clay. And you already have something that starts to resemble a character, more or less. Um, so yeah, let me get back here because I just wanted to make the point of proportions. Okay, I said what I liked about this character. I like the proportions. I like the mood as well. This is another aspect of character design is mood. What this character uh, inspire? Does it inspire like fear? Does it inspire like love, or what emotion that does this character inspire? And like it's a little bit creepy, you know, like no eyeballs and like only the whites of the eye. But I guess that was the intention, you know, make something a little bit scary. And like even the body behind the dress, it's a little bit like like a skeleton, and which I absolutely can respect. Uh, how do I improve this drawing? First thing is anatomy. I think you should keep working on your anatomy, but you're not far off. I mean, like the anatomy is quite solid, uh, but keep working on. You know, like even me, I keep like studying muscles because sometimes I get confused and I forget, and I just go open the anatomy book and like, okay, this is how it connects. Okay, makes sense. But it's just like something we learn over time, always. You know. So how I would improve this character? First, I would place the character more in a 3D space, like on a 3D surface. So then all of a sudden we'll have more information in the way we're gonna manage the volumes, you know, because if we're gonna come and simplify this character, we will get the simple shapes we were talking about just now. And simple shapes have volume, and when you understand the volume of a character, you can build it more easily and then place elements on top of it, for example, like dress, hair, even the facial features. So like putting the character on a in a 3D space, on a 3D surface, will improve a lot your design, because it will feel all of a sudden less flat and more alive in a 3D space. Anatomy again. I think I'm gonna repeat myself quite a lot, because that's usually what we work on as students, as professionals, like the basics, the fundamentals: anatomy, perspective, color and light, values, textures, etc., etc. I think I would maybe, even though like the expression is quite creepy in itself, like with a very slight smile, it does give me the creeps. But like, can we push that? I don't know. It all depends on your intention. We can make her like angry, but I don't think that's the intention. 'Cause if it's too on the nose, like, oh, an angry old lady, creepy old lady. I think what we have to do is like keep her face more or less static, but maybe like open more her eyes, like she stares into your soul.
Ooh, give her that medieval terror.
Yeah, and I think I would reduce the smile a little bit. I think I would show a little bit more the cheekbones, somewhere
Oh, plus
around.
because she's pretty old. Our jaws, unfortunately, when we're old, are losing teeth, and actually the shape. That's why you can really tell if a person like is older, usually because a lot of their teeth are missing and their
Yeah,
gums will take in the space, and basically
yeah,
the
yeah,
shape of the head goes a little bit like this on itself. So that's how we differentiate it really easily. And knowing that stuff from anatomy and things like this would help you improve on the designs you already have.
for sure.
So you can go practice with this.
Absolutely. I do agree with what Kat is saying. You can keep sharing your wisdom while I draw. It's very helpful, because
It
honestly,
keeps the pressure off a little bit.
yeah, honestly, when I draw, I usually don't talk.
True, true. It's like who said that? The one I forgot the name of the animator who got asked,
Mute
"Do you
call
listen to?"
if he
Yeah,
listens to music. Yeah, I
and
do
this is
listen
like
to music. I'm not a genius. I listen to music, and I make bad drawings. So I would take my advices with a grain of salt. But yeah, no,
we
focus is
all
important.
strive to be that
Absolutely.
way.
I think what else I would make is like push a little bit more the hair, and find like maybe like this quality of like wispy hair, like of old people, that like they kind of are losing it.
Yeah. Old people have very light hair as well because they're
Yeah,
losing all of the pigment and also they're losing a lot of the strength in the hair. So
and
even
then
though if an
maybe,
old person has a lot of hair, you could still see the scalp a little more because it's just
yeah,
more translucent.
absolutely, absolutely. So, and then that's some of the hair here. Maybe we should show more hair falling on her shoulders. Yeah, and the smile doesn't work for me. I don't know why. For some reason, the smile just yeah. Maybe let me like go transparent. Yeah, I think just a maybe a slight. Hmm. Can we do like just a little bit, a little bit, maybe. And maybe okay, you want white eyes, but what if we're still gonna add like just barely a
Ooh.
line of like we'll barely see the pupil.
Oh yeah, they could be like
I'm
slightly
just wondering,
bigger.
in character in art, just generally, a lot depends on the intentions we have. What do we want to convey with our art? So, not necessarily like all what I'm suggesting here is what is aligned with what you wanted to express. So I do apologize about that, but art is subjective.
True, that's fair enough.
I think like maybe we're gonna push down the like the opening of the dress, maybe so we can see a little bit more of her anatomy, so we can understand like
Oh
she
yeah, you
has
could be
like
like the neck.
just skin and bones.
Oh, actually, we have an interesting question because initially we were talking about like shape, so I wanted to keep it for a later
Absolutely,
time.
just shoot,
But we
shoot, shoot.
have perfect.
Any questions
We
is perfect.
The question is, how do we break the rules of design if we're planning to do something different and unique and not fall into stereotypes?
uh,
I guess it's more like
first
how to
first
keep the balance of
first
like.
first learn those rules, master them, understand them, and when you feel comfortable with them, you'll know how to break them.
Mhm.
You're thinking way too far, not even I got to the point where it's like, fuck all the rules, it's like no, not yet. I'll have to learn a little bit, but you'll get to a point where you'll be comfortable enough with your own art, and you'll have a large understanding of all the like fundamentals, and then you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to
Mhm.
try something new, and it will come naturally. It's not like, because if I give you a clear answer, it means it's a rule, and you cannot have a rule or a clear idea of how to break ideas. Clear idea, you know what I mean? It will
Exactly.
come to you.
Yeah, exactly. I agree completely. We have some new people joining. Hello, Mark. You're not late. You're absolutely in the best time to listen. Maybe for those who are
Um,
joining at a later time, let me give you like a little reintroduction. Plus, we'll give some time for Andre to draw in silence.
yes,
Basically,
please.
this is a free workshop we're holding with our mentor in visual design, in visual development and character design with Andrei Sitari, and he had an opportunity and like the joy of experience of working with big projects and studios like Netflix, Nexus, and many more.
Gaumont, yeah,
Yeah.
Titmouse, Sun Creature, many more, many.
Yeah, so now we're having this free open workshop that is basically a little glimpse into how Andre gives feedback to our students on the visual development course. Even though the visual development for the short film course is a little bit different because you pick one idea and you slowly develop it from week by week, but you're able to see all of the principles on how it goes, the attention to detail, and just the vibe. So if you feeling that this is something you would like to see more, or you would actually want to join our October course because the topic is very interesting. It's going to be based on this new Greek, Greek mythology musical called Epic, about Odysseus returning home after the Trojan War. So you'll be able to work on a very interesting project with amazing soundtrack, and you could be in the nation team, in the visual development team, and actually be able to see the whole process of creating a project from the start, from the very idea to the finish. We have a lot of different teams that are going to be involved in the project, and it's going to be a very, very interesting. But yeah, you'll feel free to stay, check out the characters because even if you didn't submit a character on time, I think it's very important to listen to other feedback as well, because usually the rules are very, very universal. And, looking at other people's art, you can actually analyze yours and ask the same question the mentor is asking the artwork and improving
One important thank you, Kata, for
it.
this reintroduction. I just wanted to mention that one important aspect of designing a character is the details. Because I started with like the big principles, silhouette, proportions, shapes, but like then you get to a point where like okay, we got everything right. What can I improve? Is like, and one of the things you can improve, for example, is designing the details. You don't design only the big things, go into the small things as well. So like designing the right hands. Of course, you guys will need some really cool references of like, for example, old people hands. In this case, particular, not like if you draw Mickey Mouse, don't search for old people hands. It won't help. Even though it might help for like poses, maybe. Here specifically in this design, like I would like go and really design these hands, go into like details so that we have really cool looking characters.
It's kinda the rule of thirds, but with the tension like, the amount of detail, leaving kind of the 70%, for the
Yeah,
eye to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
wander
yeah, yeah.
and fix
You
on the 30.
exactly. You apply it to every part. Like you apply it to the whole character, then you come to the head. You apply it to the head. Then you come to the hand. You apply it to the hand. You just try and divide in a way that it's not boring, basically. And
Mhm.
maybe we'll give her like a rope around the waist, and maybe okay. So don't forget this 3D surface to just give a little bit more space to the character. Okay, I'm not gonna like over refine the character, but just it gives you already an idea of how to improve it. So yeah, now here we imagine that it's on a surface. Whoa, too big of a brush. Okay, let me feel that. Maybe. Another super important moment, you should write it down, because with my students, we always get to this point. It's like, okay, I got shapes right, proportions right, I got the silhouette right, the colors are working, the anatomy is more or less correct. What should I add to give more character to my character? And the answer is posture. We as human beings, we don't stand the same. We'll never be always in a T pose, walking down the street, searching for some beers on Friday night. Well, you'll have the the guy that goes to the gym with his chest out, very confident, like, yeah, I'm the man, like walking down the street, and then you'll have the nerdy guy, me. No, yeah, yes, he plays a lot of World of Warcraft, doesn't really train, not in his interest, reads a lot. So then he gets the bad posture, and then the doctor will
That
tell him,
sounded very
yeah, bro,
specific.
yeah, yeah, bro, you should probably work out a little bit. And then yes, we have it's around like the chest, around the like basically the spinal cord that creates posture. Also like where the shoulders are placed. For example, if we'll look at the chest from profile view, is like if the shoulders are more behind, that means that the character pushes the chest, like the chest in front. If the shoulders are more in front, this means we'll see more of the back. This means the neck is a little bit more pushed in front. So this will give a total different vibe and character to your character. So posture, keep in mind, super important. That's why you take a sketchbook and you go into a park and you're going to draw people, because you'll see how different people behave themselves, or how they feel just generally.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, wait, so anyways, I don't want to, because I feel like the time flies by and I should probably check.
Behind all of the talking and drawing, yeah.
Should, yeah, probably work on the others as well. But yeah, like just to make a resume of what I could improve, we should improve in this posture. Try and get more specific into the design. Think more expression, But again, it depends what you want to convey, because your expression is really cool, but maybe you didn't want to make her look that scary, or I don't know. Then design the details, design the hands. I don't really like the way this hand feels, but the artist, I'm gonna stay here until midnight just to like make a cool design. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I think this is enough already for you to like get it to the next level. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna come here to this design, because I want to like touch some interesting points here. One of the principles that I like to I'll give you like a very basic idea. Is imagine a lawn of grass, and you're gonna draw the grass like this. Giving more rhythm to this grass would be changing one direction. So you'll have one going like this, another going like this, third going like this. Changing length. So you'll have a small one going like this. You'll have a big one going like this. A third one going, I don't know, like this. So direction, length, size. So you'll have small like this, then maybe you'll have a big, long, and thick one like this. Then maybe you'll have a small but thick as well. Maybe then you'll have a long but very thin. So direction, size, length. Direction is a rotation as well. So yeah, if I'll have any other ideas concerning the rhythm, I'll think about it. I'll tell you. But for now, this is the most important. Size, length. Oh, I remember another one, and also the distance between elements.
Yeah, the negative space.
Yeah. So here it's very regular, and then like you will have thick, long one here, small one here, and then a medium one here, and then like you play with the distances between elements. I think that's it, more or less. With that said, we come here to this beautiful, beautiful falls that, to my liking, they're a little bit too regular. You know, okay, they're around a volume, so they're not exactly the same size, understandably so. But I think you can make them a little bit more dynamic by applying some of these ideas, like of the rhythm here. So maybe we'll have a big, oh shoot, a big fold here, you know, maybe a smaller one here, then maybe a medium one here. This is, again, just an idea you can apply. Maybe you'll come and tell me, oh, Andre, but this is exactly how this type of pants work. You know, they make perfect symmetrical folds. Then I'll tell you, then do that, you know, then show me perfect. Because that's why I tell my students, sometimes they'll have symmetrical characters, you know, in symmetrical poses. And I'll tell them, try to avoid symmetry as much as you can, unless it's something you absolutely want and need for a character. Sometimes you really need that symmetry. But if you can break that symmetry, that'd be great, you know. For example, here, easy solution is that you will drop one of the hands down, being less symmetry, you know. Oh, we think again about the 3D space you want to place your character on. Oh, I'm drawing straight on the file. That's a pity. You want to place your character on a 3D surface. This means you can, maybe put one of the legs more in front towards us, you know. So this all of a sudden, okay, let me do the other one. I'll put the other ones. So yeah, this is better. So all of a sudden you have less symmetry. But if you want symmetry, you'll have to show me that this is your intention from the get-go. Yeah. Anyways, let's assume you didn't want symmetry, so then we can apply all these principles so I look smart, you know. But just generally, it's something very useful. Think rhythm. Rhythm is very useful in folds as well. It depends how realistic your project is. But for example, here, try to avoid the repetition. Again, length, size, distances, direction. Length, distances, direction. For example, here, maybe you have one like this, going a little bit longer. Maybe we're just gonna simplify and not gonna put the second one. And all of a sudden, simple solution, but on one side you have one fold, on the other you don't have a fold. So it plays better together than this repetition. And then we can have a big fold, important fold in the t-shirt with a smaller fold somewhere around here. And it can be all of a sudden enough to describe the folds. Oh, maybe a fold here in the arm. So yeah, we worked here on the rhythm of these big folds. That's cool. We talked a little bit about smaller folds. Here it doesn't work that bad. Doesn't work that bad. It's pretty nice. The only thing I would say, yeah, is maybe you could amplify the sense of perspective of 3D dimension. So just put this leg. Basically, you'll make it just slightly bigger, just slightly bigger than the other. Basically, it's closer to us, So all of a sudden, you have more depth to your character with this simple trick that you can buy for 99 cents. You get yourself a cool character. What else can I tell about this cool character? Well, just overall, I really like it. Maybe try and make him look at the audience. So the audience is whoever looks at your character on this page. So now he kind of looks down for some reason. So if you like get his eyes a little bit more towards us, he'll look into our soul and will be like, oh, this is a very charismatic young man. I like this character. The direction of where the character looks is very important, and we would generally want the character to look at us. And third thing very important is hair. Hair is very important. So here you indicate that this character indeed has hair, which is really cool. Now with the hat, my question is, this is like an iteration of the character with bald head and a hat, or is just a hat on top? Because if it's just a hat, there's some indication of hair I would like to see. Because here you show me the hair touches the ear. Here we don't have the hair anymore, So I would like to see the indication of hair, even if it's like very, very like buzzed down, like you barely see it. You can come with like a like, for example, this is like the dark color. You go a little bit lighter, but still darker than we can go even lighter. Even lighter. Yeah, this is not bad. To just like give the impression that there's hair. Oh, there's hair happening on his head. So usually it'll be like something.
We actually have a very interesting question. You kind of talked a little bit on like feeling that the character is very charismatic or like very confident. Do you have any advice on organizing a character's kind of design page to best convey a character's personality? Is there like any specific things you would do?
The first thing, it really depends for whom are you preparing the character. If it's for yourself and you want to develop a really fully fledged character, first thing you have to write it down. Like you have to develop his backstory. You have to understand what the character is, who the character is. So you have more information other than purely the physical aspect, And once you have that, like the personality or the interests, the history, you'll be able to like create a mood board that's more accurate to the character, and based on that mood board, you'll be able to design some cool designs. I don't know if that answers your questions, but that's what I usually do. But professionally, they already give me the intentions of the characters, because usually they are written down in a scenario for a feature film or a short film or even like a illustrated book. There's already like intentions behind the characters, so it's easier for me to draw. If I design characters for me, it's either based on a story I want to tell,
So again, I will write it down. I will understand better my character, or it's just a random character that I'm gonna develop as I go. So there is like less. I'm less demanding, about the design.
Mhm. Exactly.
Anyways, let's continue because we still have a few designs.
Mhm.
This character is really cool. Um, I think here like we have really clear shapes, beautiful shapes. This small head with big torso going into the pelvis. Like
Mhm.
this is a really cool character, no doubt. You know, um, it really depends again on the intentions of your character because like this shape and this shape evoke me two different things, because this he's like shorter here, um, bigger
He's like a
head,
little warhorse.
yeah, no, I mean like yes, but again it depends on your intention. What do you want to convey with this character? But just generally, if you think you pushed enough your character, try and push it more and see what happens. Usually you'll find really cool stuff. If you think, oh, the head is small enough, oh, what happens if I make it even smaller? Oh, maybe something cool will happen. Try and explore that, because I feel you got a hang of design already. Like you understand design. You're quite comfortable with the horse anatomy, which is really cool. So yeah, I would push more. That's my advice for you. Push more, see what happens. And yeah, I have no other feedback here. It's a really cool, really cool character sheet.
The only thing I have to note is I love the big shoulder blades. The horse
Yeah,
has.
yeah,
It almost looks like it's like a piece of armor. Like makes that
yeah,
extra
yeah.
hostile little thing.
But if I should this be my character, and I'll
Mhm.
be like, okay, let me improve it. I would definitely, yeah, try and push it as much as I can. Maybe play, you know, if we play only with the skeleton, it's a little bit hard because skeleton is always stiff. You don't have the muscles, you don't have the fat of the character, that creates the shapes. So we'll have to improvise in there, We'll have to imagine what happens. And the horse head is like very, like the horse anatomy is just generally really hard to get a hang of. So like specific and different than the humans. Don't mind me, I'm just exploring. Part of the design is always like, oh, like the design will always suck for most of the its time while being created. I literally, most of the designs are like, I'm the worst designer this planet has ever seen. And then they're like, as you work, as you build on top of it, you're like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna keep it. Oh, I like that, and then like you build it, and there's just something happens, magic, I don't
The
know.
stuff that sticks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, amazing.
So
Good,
like
kind of good to
never
hear that
stop
everyone
trying.
goes through this.
Sorry.
It's good to hear that everyone goes through a process like this. Oh, I hate it. I
Yeah,
hate it.
all
I
the
hate it.
time,
Oh, this is
every
good.
time, every time, every time. No, there's no one time when they're like, "Oh, this is a beautiful design. I'm so talented." It's usually no. It can happen. Like you should be, and you have to be proud of your work. But it usually comes afterwards. Like after like a battle. You're like, oh, you're all sweaty and
That victory has to
tired
be
and like, oh my
earned.
God, what happened, you know?
Absolutely. Exactly. We have actually a question about we have actually several questions piled
Okay.
up. So let's go one by one through them. We have a question from Maria about the short film course. For the short film course, do you need to have an advanced level? I'm guessing in
Yes,
drawing in general.
you have to have well, again, at the advanced level, it's subjective. What is an advanced level? For a student, yes, you're still a student, you know. I'm not going to expect professional level because otherwise, why the heck are you taking a course? Go work, make money. But yeah, for a student, you have to have an understanding of the basics, you know, basics of design, of anatomy, of perspective. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for you and hard for the team and hard for me. And I don't want to be like too pessimistic about it, but we have to be real about what the course is. But there are like visual development courses either at this school or other schools that you can already build on top of it, you know. And then here you're going to come specifically to apply your skills in a very concrete, not concrete, very clear,
Specific? Oh.
specific environment, which is the creation of a short film. So you'll understand, okay, I am able to create designs, but how can I apply those designs in a real production? And this, where the course comes in, you will you'll apply those designs in for a short film.
Exactly.
Basically.
All of the principles we've talked about, and
So
all of this.
wait a second, I have to find a course called, because I'm kind of drawing from the top of my head, which is not advisable. That's why you create mood boards, because we're humans, we're not AI, we're mortals. We need some help. So okay, okay, this is the shape I'm searching for, you know. This is the shape I need for my horse head. So more or less this is the shape. And then I will maybe wanna open it up like the jaw, like you did. You can go ahead and ask me the other questions.
Yeah, I started looking at the horse head and I got completely mesmerized. So our next question would be, can you break down your process of how you start designing your characters? What is the first thing you focus on?
Having an idea.
Mm.
If you don't have an idea, it's gonna be real hard. I'm telling you that. You have a hard time. But if you have an idea, start with that. Then usually I start with scribbles, you know, like okay, there'll be the head, then we'll have a bunny, land, and then I'll try to build on top of it. Okay, maybe there's something happening here, then I'm gonna erase, and then like okay, these are the eyes, and I go at the same time. I keep in my head all the principles: volume, 3D space, silhouette, proportions, rule of thirds, negative space, textures, etc., etc., etc. Of course, these things will come to you when you train a lot. But yeah, that's usually my system. Other artists will start with silhouettes, you know, like pure black silhouettes, you know, and then they'll come and then they'll like erase and then like try and search for something like some sliver of idea and like okay, this is something I like, and then they'll come with drawing and then they'll define the shapes and etc., etc. It's very specific to the artist. So my way of doing things is not necessarily your way. The most important is having a cool result at the end. and making
Mhm.
money, guys. Oh, making money is so nice. That's why, hey, we love art, we love drawing,
Exactly.
but being paid for that shit is even better. I'm gonna tell you that. So that's why we
Mhm.
have to work hard and get there.
Exactly.
Or
And one more
sell
question.
drugs. That makes sense as well.
No,
I'm just
no, no,
kidding.
no, no,
Never,
no.
never do that. Never do that. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. Don't call the police.
Please. And we have one more question from Andrew Sharp, actually the author of the Kelpie drawing.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hey,
Andre and
Andrew,
Kata. Do
really
you
cool.
have?
We have the same name technically, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Andre and Kata. Do you have any pointers in drawing in other people's styles? Perhaps going into
Try
some
to
production
understand
where
other people's styles.
hmm
Try to
yeah,
understand
maybe
other
going
people's
to
styles, and
specific like production, and there's an art style that has been settled.
yeah,
How
when
like
you're
to
in a
set.
production. Sorry,
Mhm.
are you answering the question? Because I'm
Nope, I was
interrupting you.
just explaining the question a little bit more.
Well, in production, it's easy because they will explain it to you. Okay, you have to do this, that, that. Okay, sir, we're gonna do this. If you wanna draw by yourself, you just sit down. What you can do is go like take the drawing of milk cow and just draw on top of it. Like literally make a new layer, put the other drawing like on transparency, and just draw on top over it. Just understand
Mhm.
what literally like copying, understand
Mhm.
what the character like the artist felt. What you can do also is just do that, but just by looking, okay, like copying, literally copying, just looking with the eyes, and the third one is just purely uh, understanding what makes the style of the artist and trying to apply it in your own art. I
Mhm.
don't know if that helps, but I hope it
Yeah,
helps.
I think it does. I don't think there's like one solution to that kind of problem because it happens. They
Yeah,
can
many
happen in so many
solutions.
different like shapes and ways. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, I can like play with. I actually like this horse I started. It's like when I
Yeah, I see
really
you're
like
kind of getting
something.
slowly more and more into it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
have
I
quirks
I
that
really
we
like
went
the
through.
shapes. I really like the shapes, and I would like continue to build on top of it, continue to build on top of it until I'm like, oh yes, this is the character I wanted. But you know why
Mhm.
I like this character? Because the base drawing is already cool. That's why. Um, okay, maybe I will like make something like this more dynamic. Anyways, but really cool characters, man. I don't know if whatever I'm doing here is helping, but
Well, we definitely Andrew said that thank you so much. You gave me a lot of great notes to push the design. So I think even with explorations like this, it still gives a lot of insight into how to do things like this.
awesome. Let's then continue because we have a few more left. I'll try to go like a little bit more speedy because time flies when I draw, and I don't even see the
Exactly.
time pass. Yeah, yeah. It's
We'll
really cool
we'll discuss.
characters.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Again, try to avoid symmetry. Um, Silhouette. Try like everything that's like bony. That's what I tell my students. It's something I noticed. It's like jaw, shoulders, usually knees. Um, you have
the
the
soles,
English. No, 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 no. What's it called?
the heel.
The heels. Thank you. The heels. Yes, the heels. The wrists
Oh,
of
wait a
this
minute.
the,
We
the
can't
hands.
see the shared screen. Give us a second. Let's see.
What's happening?
I think something broke and we can't see the shared screen, but it's gonna take a minute and we'll be right back.
Let's wait.
Yeah, we see the messages in the chat. All good. We just need a second. Let's see. Well, this is a perfect time to actually ask some questions. So we have some to ask now or a little bit later. One thing I want to ask is, how are you feeling? How are you feeling on your designs? Is there people? I see we have some people who have been the authors of the designs on the screen. Yeah, we need to restart the screen, so it's gonna take like a 1 minute maybe.
Yeah, like we're
Okay,
waiting for the.
perfect.
I'm not drawing, guys. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for the screen to restart. Did I stop it? No, because on our screen
No,
we can
no, no,
see it.
you're playing
So
it.
yeah,
No,
we
you're
don't see it
good.
on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. So if you have any
No,
questions,
yeah.
let me know, and I'll try and answer them.
Mhm. Well, since we see everything in the delay, we're gonna get the questions probably a little bit later. But still, while we're still here and you're still with us, let me remind you that this is just a glimpse of what you can get during the visual development course on the short film. So if you like what you're seeing or you're feeling this is something you want to do, this is the perfect chance to go to the link in the description while the screen is not yet on and actually check out the courses. They're starting really, really soon. So you just have, I think, just enough time to figure out if you want to join us and start maybe like a whole huge lifelong journey connected to animation, or just join our Discord server. We have practices every week. Oh, and I see that the screen is on.
The screen is
We got
back.
off. The
Hallelujah.
screen is back.
Hallelujah.
It's gonna
Okay,
probably take
cool.
a couple of minutes to set everything up. Not to set everything up. We can already talk and draw,
Yeah,
but the
talk and
screen is
draw.
gonna get to its usual
Okay,
position.
awesome.
Yay!
Um, well, to answer Andrew's question, who are my favorite designers? Well, I like everyone. No, joking. No, I do like a lot of artists. Obviously, Shun Kim, big inspiration. Carter Goodrich, Nicolas Marley, Thibault Leclerc. It's my body that I
I have
really
to check the
respect
names
and
out.
love. Um, who else? I really get inspired from like many sources, not necessarily in terms of like purely designers. I like James Woods. Let me pop my inspiration dossier. I'll tell
Ooh,
you guys. Character design. No. Artists. Alberto Mielo, the one that production design Spider Universe. He's such a complete artist because he does concept art and character design and painting and directing and everything is crazy. Love his art. Love Chris Sasaki. Shout out to my buddy who inspires me a lot, Tristan Poulin, top-notch character designer. Um, who else? Lou Romano. He doesn't do necessarily character design. He's more into concept art, but he's so good at shapes. It's beautiful what he does. Um,
mhm. Are you, just in case, you're showing us the artwork, or you're just looking
no,
through
no,
the
no,
names?
no. I'm
Because we
just
can
looking
only
through the
see the.
names. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, fair enough.
Like, can I show? Yeah, I mean, like, I can show. Like, look, Romano. Beautiful,
Ooh, it's a
beautiful art.
whole library.
Yeah. That's what I do, guys. I scrap just like
So
AI.
good.
I'm a human AI. I really like his concept art, which like there's so much design into it. And I was saying, like I like Matt Nolte. He was, if I'm not mistaken, he was an animator for the longest time at Pixar, and then like he passed into the art department, and he does character design, and I really like
Mhm.
his like purely like hand strokes, like the I'm too tired. The pencil work, the line work, that was the word, the line work. Jesus. I love Paul Felix. He's more of a production designer, but I really like he's also a complete artist. You know, composition, light, color. Is really cool. He's a really cool artist.
I'm gonna stop you here because we've been going for about like 75 minutes, more or less.
Oh shit!
Just to not
Let
keep
me,
you
yeah,
very
let me give
tired.
you like a really quick feedback to the rest of the artwork. I'm sorry, so I don't like disappoint anyone.
It's
So
still very interesting to listen to. It's just so we won't get you very tired.
no,
Uh,
don't worry. I just want to finish this well, and then we're done. But thank you for reminding me. We're almost done.
problem.
Yeah. So basically, here the problem is the silhouette, because you put. So I was saying everything that's bony, you try to get it out of the main silhouette. You know, so you have negative space, like you did here, negative space between the torso and the arm. There's negative space, makes the silhouette more clear. Uh, and here the hand, which I said, wrist, hand, elbow should be preferably out of the main silhouette. So again, the pose is very specific pose, you know, and I would probably put more perspective in it, and like with the hand more like more close to the camera, like bigger, you know. But yeah, this is not the point. I would probably just get the hand out of the silhouette. But yeah, the problem is you face the character perfectly in front, you know. Usually I would suggest designing the characters more in three quarters, so we have more volume and understanding of the character volume. So yeah, probably I would like you have this hand here, his head like this, her head. So but yeah, just generally try to make your silhouettes more clearer, more clear.
I think it again goes to the symmetry of the character, thinking about like the intentions of what you want to convey with it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
same with the posture. It's the same principles you've basically voiced already. So
yes,
just for
yes,
those
yes.
who are joining us later, you can go back to the previous feedbacks and see what we've been talking about because I think
So basically, I
it's
turn.
pretty universal.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. You can save for the next designs if you see some principles we already discussed about, and you're like, oh, we should apply it. Actually, you know what? We'll do something even better. Wait, let me finish this one. So basically, what I did is I turned the torso in three quarters. I kept the face in front, and I think it gives a little bit more, makes it more dynamic a little bit. And we can even rotate it a little bit more like this. But just like, again, silhouette, silhouette, silhouette. Silhouette, clear silhouette will save your life in art. Okay, what we're gonna do now. Okay, this one is gonna be hard because it's quite a good drawing, so I'm gonna do it by myself. But here, what you should do to improve this drawing is push the line of force or the line of action more. Because the design in terms of proportions, shapes, it's really good. I feel that one thing you can do is just purely push that line of force, so we understand the intention of the pose. Is he striking? Is he defending himself? But like if he's striking, obviously we'd go for something more obviously dynamic with. We can also imagine a 3D space again, you know. And then, like he strikes with his sword that goes into perspective, you know. This is just one suggestion, but think line of action, you know. It's that one line that drives the pose, drives the action. And secondly, the thing you should work on is anatomy. Again, I know this is so abstract nowadays to say anatomy, but I feel if you already have an understanding of design, if you're gonna push the understanding of these fundamentals, you'll be a professional, you know. You're not far away from that. Okay, I'll let you, Kata, give me some pointers of how you would improve this character design based on what I talked for 1 hour. That's by the way what I do with my students at the end of the course, because I'm so tired of talking. I let them talk, and then I'll be like, "Oh, what do you think? But maybe this or that," and they're like, "Oh yeah." It's more interactive. So you'll be my student today.
Cool. I get a sudden examination.
Yeah.
Of have I been listening?
Okay, let's specifically talk about this pose.
Okay.
Like this pose.
Sure. Maybe first thing I'd probably think about is the silhouette, because probably if you black everything out, the bottom. I don't know. You put me on the spot like this.
Be more confident. Be more confident.
Ooh.
You're saying the good things.
Now I'm checking my notes. Everything I've been putting down.
Yeah, I feel the silhouette is not bad, but it can definitely be improved. And how can we improve the silhouette is firstly trying to not have a frontal pose, perfectly frontal pose. So usually three quarters helps. Secondly, try and stick out the bony parts, like I was saying, you know. For example, if you would stick out an elbow, a shoulder, you know, maybe some of the a little bit of a jaw or like an ear, you know, like all of a sudden you can make the silhouette clear, you know. But just generally try to avoid perfectly frontal views, because it's already like unless you have a very precise intention of having something really frontal, you know, like Mad Max composition, you know, the new one, like Fury Road or something, where like everything's centered, you know. That was an intention of the director. I want all the composition to be perfectly in the center, and that's what they did, you know. So unless we have that very strong, clear idea of how we're going to break the rules, don't take too many risks. You know? Okay, silhouette, absolutely. What else?
Already talked about the symmetry and the silhouette.
No, the symmetry we did not talk about.
Well, you kind of mentioned it.
Very good.
But the symmetry, yeah.
Symmetry, yes. What about this? Yeah, purely like design-wise.
What could that be? Maybe.
How could you improve this design?
Maybe I would only think about what I'm mainly kind of looking, especially in the arms. A lot of the parts of the body, like the arm, it's also symmetrical on its own. So there's like this one
Oh yeah,
section.
yeah, very interesting, very interesting. So
Usually the muscles
you're telling
are
me
more
this
lean
part,
on one side. Yeah.
this
Yeah,
part
yeah,
and this
yeah.
part, yeah, it's a little bit too, yeah. That's an interesting point. Yeah, but generally the design, if we make abstraction again of anatomy, which is a very recurring problem with student, not a problem, it's a something you have to work on.
Mhm.
Uh, if we make abstraction of that, the design, like the proportions are quite nice. Like like the size of the torso versus the shorts and the legs, it works. Like the way you played with the proportion works. So design wise is not bad, which is very good. And another thing is like it's cool to draw rough because we see like Glenn Keane drawing rough, and like I was just like that. I was like, where is Keane? He's here. I'll be like I'll see like a drawing. Let me take an example, a good example. This one. I'll see a drawing like this, like wow, I want to draw as rough and as good as him, you know. But to get to this level of rough, you actually have to master drawing clean.
Mhm.
So one thing I would, obviously this is like a very rough sheet, but I would come and like I would like define your character, you know, in a clean manner, you know, like the way the shape of his skull, like the shape of his jaw, the eyes, and that's why many like beginners or like intermediate artists, they're like, okay, my rough drawing was so cool, and then when I clean it, it doesn't look, it's like it's more stiff. And but the problem is when you draw rough, you have many lines, and when you clean it, you choose the wrong ones.
Mhm.
Basically, that's what happens. So a good exercise to clean your character is understanding why does your rough work versus your clean, and trying to keep the essence, the life, and translate it into a clean drawing. And it will help you understand many things. That's why I would encourage you to keep drawing rough, but also clean and have more finished products. That's it.
Mhm. Also, a little day by day tip when you're cleaning up artwork, set it to like 5% that you can barely see it. Because if you see it too clearly and you draw on top of it, you're drawing lines on top of your drawing you have already. You're not really
Yes,
thinking
yes,
about those specific lines and everything. And if you dial
yes.
it like back enough, so you would only be able to see it when you're like either
Yeah.
zoomed in or you're looking really hard, you're able to like go back and see just your lines without the extra weight of your rough drawing. It took me a
Yeah.
while to understand you can just lower it. You can lower the opacity even more.
Uh, that's what I do as well. I work on 8% usually, like on top of my
Mhm.
sketch. Like it has to
Yeah,
be really light.
really light.
Yeah. Here
I
I
love
think
these
that
designs.
these drawings are really cool. They're very full of personality. I think you
Yeah.
just maybe push a little bit more the shapes, and maybe like have more 3D space maybe.
Mhm. As you said, the with the rhythm, you talked about the length, size, distance, and rotation.
Exactly.
So the
Exactly.
space between the pants and the pants themselves would all be a little bit different. So we'd feel the
Yeah.
difference.
So imagine this hand like will come closer to us. This other one will go farther away from us. This leg will come closer to us. So we have again this interesting play of shapes and like rhythm, just like you said. But the characters are really cool. And here, I think I would push a little bit more because we have almost same size torso and legs. So I would either go shorter legs, longer torso, which would make a very peculiar character, but it can exist, or the other way around, longer legs, shorter torso. But I think about proportions is very important. Okay, this character is going to be our last. It's a really cool character. Really love the shapes. Love the colors. There's a few things we can improve, and then we'll do a ping pong with Kata. Kata will say one, I'll say another.
Who's pinging? Who's ponging?
Okay, I'll start. Silhouette wise, one thing we can improve, sticking at that bony part. You see how you have the beautiful silhouette, the bootay.
Mm-hmm. Not. It's like when some lines are close enough that they can overlap, but they don't.
And then create like visually, it's almost like the same line, but it's not. For example, here, visually the line of the arm aligns with her behind, so it's almost the same line, and visually it's not very satisfying. So with that in mind, plus the idea of silhouette, negative space, and sticking out the bony parts, which is the elbow, for example, we'll stick out the bony part. Yeah, let's say this at the end. Now there are artists that will place the perfect line at the perfect time.
But it does not feel real. Yeah, and I think like 99% of other amazing successful artists have the same problem. I think those who can put everything from the start,
Yeah.
like I forgot the name of that very talented artist
Kim
who did
Junji.
like yeah, who did the ballpoint drawings in like this
Yeah.
17-point perspective and know everything on top of his head. The amount of hours, the practice, and just having a brain that's wired to do stuff from first try.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
think we as humans are kind of developed to experiment and fail. So having that as your art process, I think, is also just as valid and important. Sometimes failures are even better than instant successes. You don't know what you're losing if you're successing on the first try.
Absolutely. Now you have to give me the pong.
Ooh.
Because I gave you the ping.
Sure. I think I would look maybe at the proportions of everything. The big space for the head, the torso, and the body, it's relatively the same. Maybe.
Yes, beautiful point. So now we can, I think what we can do is like maybe reduce the torso, have the...
Oh yeah, she can have like this long skirt that starts like.
And we can make the skirt a little bit longer. So all of a sudden, we have a difference, in shapes and in proportions between these two. And all of a sudden, it's better. Very good point. Now I'm gonna ping one behind, and then we'll call it a day, and then we'll put the we'll put this cane even more in front, like so. So then we have a real sense of perspective, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Can you pong it now?
Is
Last.
there one last? Oh, ooh. Well, we did check the symmetry, and the pose is pretty
There's
interesting already.
Yeah.
We checked the proportions; they're also varied.
Okay, now I
What
think I'll
else?
help you out. It's in the
Yeah,
details.
Mm.
Now, for example, I'll help you out. I'll answer for you, so we can go to dinner. The arms, the hands can be more designed, like we were talking about here. You know, like you have to get more into have them like consistent between each other, like design the nails. You know, because on a finger you can have long nails, you can have short round nails, like you can have pointy fingers, you can have flat square fingers. It's up to you to design, you know, stubby fingers, absolutely. And I think you can simplify the line work. Even though she is old, you can just identify what's important, because your character is still quite stylized. So I think I would go for maybe the cheeks. Keep that, you know, keep the cheeks. Keep the
cheeky smile.
keep the yes, the smile. Maybe a line here. And I think we're more or less done in terms of like details and information. You don't want to like overdo it. It really depends on the style, but since you have a style that's quite what I would suggest for the old lady, even if she is old and she has a lot of wrinkles, I would suggest that. And also, yeah, try and streamline and simplify the folds, like we discussed here. You know, like just select a few strong folds that will show direction and shape and volume, and that's enough. You know, you don't have to overdo it. So yeah, I think this is more or less it for today. I think I did like we can go in depth. We can talk for hours, but yeah,
exactly.
let's
We have
end up
to stop at
on
some point.
questions if there are any.
Yeah, we do have one question from Loopy
Perfect.
Arts. How do you go about picking a color palette for your character design to be unique and
Ooh,
distinct? That's a huge question. Maybe we can have
that's
actually another
good.
stream just about colors.
Yeah. I
That'd
think
be
it's
interesting.
a little bit hard, but I usually try and. It really depends. Really depends. It's hard to say. You have to make a mood board. You have to search. You have to understand what you want to convey. Um, and then there are, of course, some interesting rules like try and play on the contrasts usually, but not necessarily. That's why it's complex of a topic. It's too complex of a topic.
True.
Yeah,
Let's
look
then
at
keep
Kata,
it
for
as a
example.
topic.
Yeah, interesting colors. Black shirt, but with blonde, orange, and turquoise accents in the hair. It works really well because all the attentions go straight to her face.
Exactly. That's the point.
That's the
Thank
point.
you for
Yeah.
noticing it. Oh, we actually does have one question. We had to delete it a couple of times, and we accidentally deleted all of them. So I'm glad it's back. We have a question. Does Andrei play Dota 2? Since the World of Warcraft was thrown in a little.
Who is that, my friend? I did play Dota 2 for the
It's
longest time.
Nishad. I'm not sure if you're personal friends, but
No.
the
I
audience
played
wants to
Dota 2
know.
for the longest time, and I think Dota 2 has probably the best designs in MOBA. I prefer them to League of Legends, even though my respect to League of... Oh, Arcane, super
Oh no,
nice.
that's a new bar.
Yes, Arcane,
Yes.
amazing. But like League of Legends, purely like designs are good, but I prefer Dora. Like the Dora are more like rounded up in terms of color, shapes. But yeah, I used to play Dora. Now
Same. A lot of the games we get to play a couple of years back are now just the games we like to watch.
I don't have time for that
Someone
shit.
play.
I get too into it otherwise.
Oh, a little bit too true. Well, I think that was the last question we had for today. Let's actually finish on this. This was perfect. I love the energy we had in our studio today.
Yeah,
This was
thank you,
amazing.
thanks for coming.
Uh, yeah, chat once again. Leave reactions like there in the bottom, like so we can see you in real time, or just leave comments. To thank Andre for coming in today and giving all of this feedback. For the people who decided to submit their artworks on time and name them correctly, that's still another round of applause I want to give specifically to all the people who've participated. If you didn't have a chance to see the artwork, because I saw some people in the chat like writing, "Oh, I've submitted it now. I hope there's a chance to look at it." Sometimes life doesn't go that way, but still, there's going to be a lot more feedback sessions we're going to have in the future. This is definitely not the last one, so you'll get the time to actually do it. Or if you want to go a little bit more serious, there's always the visual development course. It starts in October. We're going to have a very interesting topic on Greek mythology and musicals. So, a lot of very pretty designs to cover. And you'll be able to do all of that in the upcoming months if you join our course. The link is in the description. So, if you want to start your lifelong visual development journey, or just see if it's something that's up your alley, then you're free to go through the courses down below and check them out. We're very happy to see you there, to see you here, and hopefully we'll have many more feedbacks coming our way. So I think that's it. I've said everything that needs to be said. Thank you for being here today. I had a lot of
Thank
fun and it
you.
was very insightful for me. So thank you for being here. Animation School Club is logging off. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Greetings, my name is Andrei Sitari. I'm a Coblano École de l'Image alumnus, and for the past 5 years I work as a character designer and visual development artist for studios like Netflix, Sun Creature, Golden Wolf, and others. I would like to invite you to join the visual development class under the short film creation program. Together we will dive into the nuances and challenges of visual development and production of a short film. Not only you will test your skills, but also you will get real-life experience working in a team, meeting deadlines, and contributing to a common goal, which is the creation of an animated film. I'll be your mentor and supervisor, and I will guide you through the process. I will advise and counsel you to the best of my abilities, yet it is precisely you who will be the brain and the heart of this creative process. So join us today and let's create something beautiful together.
Thank you.